Hey Nick,
Hey, buddy.
how we doing?
We are doing well. How's you?
Not too bad. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet for you. Do you know what you get when you cross a turkey with a ghost?
What do you get when you cross a turkey with a ghost?
A poultrygeist.
I am gonna stab you in the knees.
We don't have it yet. Hello, everybody, and welcome to We Don't Have It Yet, the #1 podcast run by Nick and Wyatt. I am one of your hosts, Wyatt, and with me is my tall friend, Nick. Say hi to the people, Nick.
Hey, people, have you double-checked the math on that? Because we're not really actually sure if there are other Nick and Wyatt more successful combos kind of thing, have we?
Well, anyone that's listened to us knows that we don't do any research on anything, so we're just going to roll with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I'm pretty sure any other Nick and Wyatts that may be doing a podcast aren't listening to this podcast, so I don't think anyone's going to call us out on it.
That's fair.
So, what have you been up to?
Man, it's holidays, right? The holidays are here, I think. According to my house, they certainly are.
St. Crispin's Day?
All the decorations and whatnot went up on Sunday. Trees are up. Lights are hung. Stockings.
With care?
With a good enough is good enough attitude. You may have seen the picture I posted of the tree that I did with lights. It was an amazing display in my head, and then
the outdoor display. Yeah, that was amazing.
It was a lot less impressive when I plugged it in, because you're putting the lights up and you're like, "Oof, this is string number 6. This thing is going to be able to be seen from space. This is going to be amazing."
It looks like a Charlie Brown tree.
It's like the most underwhelming thing you could possibly imagine. But I did get to use all the purple lights that I bought from Menards a couple years ago, so that was pretty cool. Because believe it or not, here in Bears country, people are not that hyped for Ravens purple Christmas lights. So I bought like 10 boxes for $2 a piece a couple years ago in January.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Right.
Weird. I thought you had a big Baltimore contingency out there in Chicago. Right. I feel like you guys are sister cities.
So many Cub displays around that are kind of awesome, though. Already. I mean, you'd think that it would be Bears Christmas displays, but there are a lot of like inflatable Cub figures and like inflatable Christmas Bluey wearing a Cubs jersey. You gotta love it.
But first we need to get to Thanksgiving, because
right, it is Thanksgiving.
I was going to say it's tomorrow because I have no idea what today is. I assume today is actually Tuesday, but when people are going to be listening to this, it will be tomorrow.
It's Thanksgiving Eve.
You got any big plans?
I have a father-in-law arriving at the airport this evening, so I guess my plan would be to figure out a way to get out of Dodge for the rest of the week. I don't know.
Today's Tuesday. I believe the last time I was in Chicago, Interium said they're going to be doing a charity tournament today. You might be able to go sneak off to that.
Holy shit. Is that true?
I don't know if it's Tuesday, but I know when we were there for the tournament, they said they were going to be doing some Thanksgiving charity tournament. It was like nice a buffet/tournament.
I honestly had forgotten all about that. I might have to look into that. I could go play some pinball later. Shit, I haven't played since Really Rad Weekend.
I played...
You've been to the club, haven't you?
Yeah, last week for... video game night, I believe I put a few games. And yeah, I showed you guys. I put up my high score in X-Men and Avengers.
Right. Well, still talking shit about that wonderful machine.
I don't like it.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
I was gonna say, I think you are in the minority there.
Oh, I definitely think I am, because I've seen people playing it at tournaments, and it's always funny because it seems to be that game where people are turning around and going, "God, I hate this piece of shit."
It used to be that like the Danger Room really I didn't enjoy, but I've started to really kind of get that down. It's just I just don't enjoy the flow of the game.
Yeah, it's kind of chunky. I don't know a good way to. It's jerky. It's herky jerky. It's not smooth. It's the opposite of Tron.
And as I say, it's also the opposite of like Jaws. Jaws is if you're hitting it right, like Jaws is a smooth game. The ramps, the loops, like it's all just.
Except for that stupid
Chum
bucket.
I love the Chum bucket. I can. That's
I
the only
always end
thing I
up
can
hitting
hit
it
with
wrong and
accuracy.
center draining it. All right, well, yeah, we can go into pinball nerd speak later if we need to fill some time. But what about you on Thanksgiving? You got family coming in? You cooking? What are you doing?
We are heading over to Caitlin's brother's place. I think there's only going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 of us. Her brother's smoking a couple small turkeys, and he's made a
Nice.
bunch of different sides and stuff. I have been tasked with bringing 1 or 2 desserts. You could ask
Shocker.
me what I'm bringing, and I still don't really know what I'm doing. I might do an apple pie or some type of fruit pie, and then maybe something like a brownie, blondie. I don't know.
You can
It's
never
been a
go
while
wrong with
since
banana
I've
cream pie because it's the lord of all desserts. So keep that in mind.
banana pudding cookie. You got it.
Well, I happen to know that you make a damn fine one of those as well, but
Although maybe I don't know how to do it anymore. It's been gosh, 5, 6 months since I closed the business
has it?
down. I
Has
might
it
have lost it.
really?
I think so. I mean, I made the announcement that I was closing the bakery back
Wow.
in March, I think, and then so that gave me April, May, June. So yeah, 5 months. I gave my monthly subscribers a 3 month like offboarding because I didn't
Mm.
want to, the people that have supported me for the last 5 years, I didn't just want to cut them off. So, yeah, it's been about 5 months, and I don't know how the heck I worked full time and ran my business full time for almost 5 years because I still don't have enough time to do stuff, and I only work 1 full-time job now. So,
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it? But I can tell you, it's because you were never doing anything else other than baking. You were just multitasking a lot, and you were
yeah.
living your life around stuff being in the oven, I think.
Yeah, you know what? You were 100% right. I think most of the time I had a laptop or something within reach waiting for stuff to come out of the oven
Yep.
because otherwise there were no video games being played, there were no books being read. I think I had mentioned it before, but I just got my library card for here where I'm
Yeah.
living, and it's been I think this is like maybe the 1 month anniversary of me getting my library card, and I'm already 5 books deep.
See,
So
while
it's
you
it, it's weird.
brag about your intellectual prowess that you've found since quitting the cookie business,
We don't need to talk about the books I read. I don't know if there's too much intellectual prowess in the
Uh,
books I'm reading.
no, but it sounds like you're actually allowing yourself leisure time, God forbid.
A
So,
little,
yeah,
not much.
not such a bad thing. Not such a
But
bad
yeah,
thing.
other than that, we don't really have any other plans. I'm off from work starting today of when this episode drops. So I'm
Ah,
off Wednesday through Sunday. So,
so we should play video games, is what you're saying.
I think we should because we played a little tape to tape when I was in Chicago, but other than that, I genuinely don't remember the last time that we played a game.
It was prior to starting up this damn thing. So,
Yeah, I
this
think
is
this took place of our weekly video game night.
has this harmed our relationship? Oh
Probably.
dear. Oh well, we're gonna have to make up for this at some point this week. I'll tell you that.
Well, I was gonna save it for our topics later, but since we're already talking about video games, I
I
think we
think
both
you
know
need to
what we're
go into
going to be
what I will
playing.
want to be playing this
Yes.
week. Yes.
So on Sunday, the game TimeSplitters Rewind just released after about 18 years, I think, in the making. I might have to double check myself there, but I believe I was reading their timeline and they started working on this back in 2007 with many different roadblocks and things going on,
As I
engines
remember it,
changing.
yeah, it was like the Future Perfect came out for PS2, Xbox.
Yep.
And so this was early in the 360 life cycle. They were going to take over the IP and develop this project. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was actually supposed to. I think this was going to release on PlayStation and PC, and then they realized the project may have been a bit too ambitious and just started focusing on PC. They went back and forth, I believe, between the CryEngine and one of the other really Unreal Engine, maybe. They bounced back and forth between engines like 3 or 4 times. The people on projects dropped out. Everyone that created this game did it for free. This was just a labor of love over the last 2 decades or so. For anyone that doesn't know,
Yeah, explain what
TimeSplitters.
TimeSplitters is.
Yeah, so TimeSplitters is basically GoldenEye 007 on steroids. It's the logical evolution of GoldenEye. It's a first-person shooter.
It was developed by the GoldenEye team from
Yes.
Rare, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was a very, I guess I assume it was a very popular game because so many people are excited that Rewind has come out, but I don't remember it being huge when I was in
aware
college.
of it. I was aware
Yeah.
of it, and it wasn't until right on the first Xbox I think I got Future Perfect and discovered that it was like the most fun I could have playing local co-op and multiplayer kind of thing from the couch. And it's everything that you want GoldenEye to be in your rose-colored glasses memories.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody looks back
yeah.
and remembers the times that they had playing 64 GoldenEye. I'm like, man, that was so awesome. So many good times. And if you sit down and play it today, you might disagree with me, but I think it doesn't hold up like at all.
It doesn't.
At 8 frames a second or whatever it is and all this stuff. Like it's rough to play now.
Yeah, the advent of the dual analog stick controller made all of those N64 first-person shooters kind of obsolete.
Even when they've redone the controls on the re-release to be a dual stick shooter, kind of, it just doesn't feel great to me.
Yeah, I played the GoldenEye re-release that came out for Rare Replay recently on Xbox One. It was all right. I mean,
think that's
it
what
definitely
did. They went, that was fine.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't really do a whole lot. The one that came out for 360 was much more of a upgrade, wasn't it?
Yes. But I've put probably a couple hours into Rewind so far. I've did TimeSplitters. The big thing in these games were the challenge modes. The story mode's always fun. The multiplayer, the team deathmatch, these things like that. There's an arcade league, which is also it's essentially single player. And the idea is like in this challenge, you need to do 50 headshots in the span
all
of
the
2
bot
minutes.
challenges, or this one you only fight chickens and things like that. It should be mentioned that this game doesn't take itself seriously at all, and everything about it is extremely tongue in cheek.
You play as a robot with a fish in a fishbowl as a head, as one of the characters.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite multiplayer characters, and I already did the challenge of that guy too. It was great.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it runs amazingly. I'm sure your thoughts were the same. I think it just feels like a totally new version of the game you loved. Honestly, it doesn't feel like they just cranked up, the frame rate and rehashed some skins and higher, textures and that kind of stuff. It is like a rebuilt game.
Yeah, it's completely built from the ground up. It should be noted that the team that created this had the full blessing of the TimeSplitters original TimeSplitters team. They gave so I know a couple people I was talking to about it online, and they were like, "Oh, this is so great," but what if everyone's thinking about Nintendo projects. What about the cease and desist? They're like, it's going to come down, and like, no, they have the full backing of.
They had the blessing of the creators and the team, but does that creative team own the IP?
They don't, but I can't remember who owns it now. Wherever the IP is switched, they have still gotten permission from nobody's going to touch them on this.
Until
as long as they're releasing it for free, they don't care.
Generating revenue in some manner, then they'll start wondering where their piece of the pie is. But as long as it's a totally free project, as it appears to be now, and the whole thing on the website says, no microtransactions, no nothing ever. So
this is the N64 the N64, the PlayStation 2 first-person shooter that you remember playing when you were younger, just updated. No, I shouldn't say just updated, but as you saw it back then, you had already said, like, this is what it is now. Like, you get a full game. I shouldn't say that either, because this was just early access that dropped on Sunday. So the final product is supposed to have the story mode for the 3 TimeSplitters games.
Yeah, right now it's just for the full first campaign. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Right now it's the first full campaign. Hopefully I didn't just drop internet because you froze on my screen.
No, that's just me. You have 28 Are we doing the same thing as
I'm
last
gonna
week?
sit here for a minute.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, it is your internet.
Say, buying an energy drink?
Yeah, I could use a pick-me-up.
Have you considered Four Loko?
More loco.
To get the same amount of energy in just one Four Loko, you'd have to drink a Red Bull and a cup of coffee.
That's a lot of energy.
And these 4 beers.
I thought this was an energy drink.
So did the FDA. Suckers.
I don't want to be drunk. I haven't even had lunch yet.
Who needs lunch when you have Four Loko? In fact, to get the calories in just one Four Loko, you'd have to consume all this. Plus a double bacon cheeseburger doused in milk fat.
That is disgusting.
Disgusting? Please. To taste something as disgusting as Four Loko, you'd have to swallow this thing I just found. Four Loko, now in kiwi strawberry.
This sounds like a horrible, horrible drink.
It is. In fact, to do the same amount of damage to your liver as one Four Loko, you'd have to chug this entire can of acetone. Ooh. Say goodbye to shotgunning mineral spirits.
I never even said hello to that.
Four Loko. What the America?
And we're back from our unscheduled commercial break that apparently we might as well schedule every week because it happens every damn week. I hate Comcast. They are my chump of forever. That's just going to be out there.
Oh, well, you can make that. I mean, I think you were on the fence about Chump of the Week, so you might as well just go straight into it because, I mean, Comcast, you've got, what, a daily 10:30 to 11 a.m. outage, just like I have for a long time?
Sometimes it could be 1 p.m. It could be 7 a.m. It goes out at least once a day.
It's not like they took billions and billions of dollars of tax money 30 years ago to, build a nationwide fiber network that they went, nah, we don't have to do that. Coax is fine. You guys should just trust us. We're keeping the money, by the way.
You are my chump of the week.
Chump.
I'm just so annoyed.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about video games. I want to talk about stupid stuff. And Comcast is like, no, you don't.
You're on a shared pipe, bitch.
God. This is the only thing that I dislike about the new place that I'm at.
Yeah.
I mean, having that fiber internet.
Buying this place, spending a year rebuilding it, only to later discover that the one Achilles heel was my side of the street doesn't have fiber connections.
Yeah, but at least, you have a local government that works for you, and you contacted your local government, and they were like, we got you.
Village governance, man. I was like, this is horse shit. And he goes, yeah, it is kind of horse shit. I'm getting on the horn with AT&T. Whether they're just blowing smoke up my ass or not, I don't know. But I got a reply all with like 6 members of the local government team being like, get into this. And yeah, they showed me the responses they got back from AT&T about how they're planning on expansion by December of next year. We'll see. But it was encouraging. It was encouraging. Yeah.
Because my punk ass over here is stuck sucking the teat of Comcast for who knows how long.
You could always get Tesla internet. Don't.
I would rather become a Luddite and have no internet.
Yeah, well said.
We were talking about TimeSplitters still. I think
Thanksgiving into TimeSplitters. TimeSplitters is back and is awesome and has a new engine between CryEngine or Unreal, I think is where you were.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, no, it's free. It's free and will forever be free, and every part of it is free, and it's just a fan and community project.
It has co-op story mode for 2 players, online and offline. It has, I believe, 10-player multiplayer online. I haven't done any online yet, either co-op or multiplayer, so I can't speak to how the servers are holding up.
I only jumped in yesterday for half hour I had free or whatever it was, 20 minutes, and just played like a bunch of the arcade challenges.
Are you playing mouse and keyboard or are you playing controller?
I am playing controller. You know what? I was sitting at my PC, this very PC, and I was like, you know what? Let me give this a shot. Never tried TimeSplitters with a mouse and keyboard. It feels weird. Like super weird. I don't know if I just had the sensitivity too high.
The sensitivity starts off way too high from what I noticed.
Using a mouse and keyboard was intense. Like I just turned TimeSplitters into like a twitchy, boomer shooter kind of thing, which was never really what it was. But yeah, it felt like Quake all of a sudden. So I quickly went back to the controller. It just feels more natural for a game like that.
Yeah, that's where I landed too. I think I tried a challenge with mouse and keyboard again, the sensitivity is just way off. I think I adjusted it to make it a little bit better. Even with the controller, the sensitivity was too high. So
It's pretty cranked. Yeah, and I'm someone who likes it a little higher actually,
Yeah.
but it was a bit much. But you have a development team who doesn't have necessarily outside of their own
Right.
internal feedback, so you're probably going to get things cranked a little more hardcore to default, I imagine.
Yeah. But I highly recommend anyone that enjoys first-person shooters, absolutely anyone that enjoyed the TimeSplitters series.
I've said it several times in stuff I've wrote that like you think you want GoldenEye, you think you want to go play GoldenEye. What you
Yeah.
actually want to play is TimeSplitters. It's everything that you remember loving about GoldenEye that plays well now. And that was
Yeah.
for the 2005 game, so this one is, I mean, it looks impressive as hell. It runs amazingly on my PC. I don't think it's particularly demanding.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I have everything cranked right now to either Ultra or Epic or whatever is on there. I have it locked to 60 FPS right now because I think I had it at unlimited, and I was getting spikes from like 140 to like 70 or something. So I'd rather just have it, locked in and not have that jitteriness. But
Yeah, but I think you'd agree. It doesn't feel like a, half-broken fan project kind of
no,
thing.
absolutely not. This is
At
this
no
is better
point did I
than
Yeah,
you know
but I feel
AAA
like I was
titles.
making concessions kind of thing and having to be like, oh, well, I'll give it a break because it's, no, it feels like a full release. It's amazing. And I can see where the development cycle went.
Yeah, you wonder, how does something take 15 to 20 years to put together? And I
Because
mean,
it's a
again,
bunch of dudes just working
yeah.
on it a little bit every night or once in a while or whatever. I'm sure they have real lives. TimeSplitters
yeah.
free game wasn't their motivation over the last 20 years or whatever it's been.
Yeah, I guess the big boon for them was actually COVID because everyone was working from home and a lot of them were able
Yeah.
to pour a ton more time. And then once stuff started opening back up, the development kind of took a hit because some people either burnt themselves out by putting too many hours into it, or people had to go back to work. And that, because I think there was a trailer that came out in either 2020 or 2021 that was like, oh yeah, this is coming soon. And then everything kind of fell apart and they had to put it together. So just a testament to the tenacity of the people working on this. Like
Passion.
they put it out. Yeah, they put it out. And I mean, I think right now it's like version 0.3 early access. So clearly they still have a lot of stuff they want to get done. But even if nothing else happened to it, and again, I haven't gone through the entire story mode. I haven't done all the challenges and stuff. So who knows? There could be some wonky stuff that, is in there. But like, if they just stopped the project right now with what they have, I'd be like, you
fine
know
with
what? Yeah, especially for free. Like you can't beat
Job well done.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got me thinking playing that and I don't know if we'll get to that later or now, but playing Brutal Legend as well. If you get a 1080 60 going for a lot of these games these days, even if their bones are a little older or it's kind of a reimagining that plays the same, like I don't need this over the top graphical fidelity experience anymore. It doesn't add anything to me anymore. Like Brutal Legend and TimeSplitters running at 1080 60 are beautiful games with a distinct art style that is completely unique to that game, and thus
Absolutely.
a more like visually appealing experience in a lot of ways than something with ray tracing cranked up to 9, showing lens flare, and it's all running at 4K 120, and like it doesn't necessarily need that. And I think if anything, my takeaway is like there's a lot more room for this lower barrier to entry stuff to take off and do well. I don't know that the demand, I mean, sure, it'll always be there for the cutting edge, but with the budgets ballooning completely out of control, development cycles ballooning completely out of control, all this stuff, it just makes me think that there's room for something of an adjustment, just like games that, yeah, they might have some years on them kind of thing, but like graphical fidelity was enough.
Yeah, no, I think we've hit the point of diminishing returns when it comes to
hugely so,
games.
hugely so.
Like, I mean, look at a lot of the great games that have come out the past couple of years. I mean, Sea of Stars, just a 16-bit, game that looks absolutely gorgeous. It's not, TMNT Shredder's Revenge, another, a lot of these side scroller games. The Marvel one that's coming out soon, the G.I. Joe one that came out. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
I'm not even
side-scrollers
getting
are
into like
having
a
big
whole thing
revival.
about like indies or anything. Like, sure, Balatro is simple and looks great and is still a great game kind of thing. But yeah, it does. It can be a studio.
Gameplay's king.
Yeah, and maybe I think that the way it's been said out there is like we need more double A titles, whatever you want to call it. Just
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
need we don't need Battlefield 6.
yeah, let me tell you how much you don't. Yeah, I mean that game could be a chump too. Fucking bait and switch. Hey, you just paid money for this, but now the week after release, we're gonna add a bunch of splash ads for you to get into the game that just tell you to buy season passes and this add-on and that add-on, and we're adding a battle royale red sec mode that no one wants or asked for, and god, it's so gross. Perhaps
It
I
is.
just yearn for a simpler time where not everything in a game had to be a revenue stream as well.
I miss the world of unlocks. I miss
Yeah.
playing,
Knowing that I
Super
had
Smash
something
Brothers.
because I was the shit, not because I opened my credit card up. Yeah.
Right. Super Smash with the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, I believe is the last one. 80 something characters. You're not buying them. I guess that's a lie. They did have the fighter packs that came out.
I was gonna say, isn't
but
there shitloads of DLC in those games?
there is, but even so, my point being that like you could not drop a single dollar after buying the game, and you can still unlock 70 plus characters.
Versus
Like you don't
it
need to
being
have the
a
fighter packs.
nearly a complete requirement kind of thing. Almost.
Some of the other games, you need to open up your wallet.
competitive online games. You're not going to play competitive fighters without all the shit, right? Like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighters and the modern stuff, and then Call of Duties and Battlefields and all that stuff. You got to buy the map packs because everybody's playing those now, so you can't miss out because everybody's over there now.
That's exactly why the stuff like the new Mortal Kombat games I absolutely love. Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 11, the last few that came out. I absolutely love those, but I have not touched any of them until, I guess, Mortal Kombat 1's not true. I think I ended up picking that up because, I break my own rules all the time. But for most of them, I wait for the Ultimate Edition to come out. Like, I want the complete game. Give me the entire game. And you know what? After a year, that comes out. And then 3 months after the Ultimate comes out, you can get the Ultimate Edition for like $15.
And that's exactly, we're coming full circle on that, like talking about Battlefield. Like, there was absolutely no reason for me to buy 6, but everybody that I play with was buying 6 because the hype machine's a hype machine, and marketing's marketing, and now we get to buy this new version, whereas, like, we had a perfectly good 2042 at home. It has unbelievable amounts of maps and content. It's actually polished now, and you can buy it for $5. But no, we don't do that, do we?
New shiny. That's
on us, man. Like I
to say that's a topic just for everyone in general. Is everything is the new shiny? People that need to have the newest iPhone, people that need to have the newest car, the newest video game, the newest graphics cards.
Oh, I read a great piece of corpo propaganda in the news yesterday about the economy suffering in the IT market because people are hoarding their old devices and not upgrading to a brand new phone every single year. It's like, wow, it's now our fault. Before it was, planned obsolescence is a real dick move, and now you have to upgrade your iPhone even though you don't want to. And now it's you greedy consumer not buying the newest thing every year. How dare you?
And this actually transitions super well into the other big thing that's been going on in my life recently is my refrigerator is dead.
Did it finally completely eat shit?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So we bought this fridge 4 years ago, maybe. Yeah, probably 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Right in the middle of new. Right in the middle of having my my bakery. So we had too much stuff to fit inside one fridge, so I needed to have a bakery fridge.
Yeah, business fridge.
Doughs and worked great. It was awesome. We picked it up new. It never really had any issues with it. The friends of mine that helped us move here, they kind of made a mistake moving the fridge, and it's hard to be mad at anyone when they do stuff for free or for beer and pizza.
Oh, did
But
someone lift by the coils or something?
no. So it's a tight fit for the fridge to come out the door
Oh.
that we had, and they thought the solution to that would be to take the
Door off.
the protective guard on the back that houses the motherboard,
Yeah.
the
The
panel.
control board.
Yeah, and so while trying to move it out the door, they caught a capacitor and ripped a capacitor off.
That would do it.
Yeah, and didn't say anything until
That
we
would do it.
got it to our place. But thankfully, one of my buddies is much better with electrical stuff than I am. He replaced the capacitor. It worked fine. But within the last week or so, we noticed the temperatures were fluctuating in the fridge to levels that were more like a cooler and not a fridge. And that's
Yeah, the
not
last thing you really want a
great.
refrigerator to do is go up to the temp where bacteria starts growing.
Yeah,
and
and it
then
was
going up
getting
and
there.
down and up and down and up and down. That's that's bad news.
Yeah, so we had a friend come and look at it because I was like, I'm not an electrical guy. I will never claim to be. I hate working on electrical stuff. So I
Me
try to
too.
surround myself with people that know it better than I do. So we looked at it. He's like, this is like, I'm not an appliance person. He said, I've done the stuff I can do. He's like, I can't see what's wrong with it. So he's like, you might want to have someone come out here and look at it. So in my infinite wisdom, I'm looking at this thing, I'm unplugging stuff, plugging it back in, trying to power cycle it, trying to just, put on my IT hat and, do my tier 1 troubleshooting and see if, you turn it off and turn it back on again. Maybe that'll fix it.
Worked for the plane.
Yeah, it 100% did. So, why wouldn't it work for the fridge? So I unplugged it for about an hour or so just to maybe a circuit got hot, something tripped. No, I'll let it cool down, plug it back in. And lo and behold, I did that. And the condenser fan kicked back on, which wasn't kicking on. So I'm like, oh, sweet. Like literally it just got hot, which is still an issue, but at least I can get this working now until I can have someone come out here and look at it.
And you've identified what you think the issue is,
Right.
kind of thing. Yeah.
So, I let that go for about a day. I went the next day to go get my hair cut. I checked the fridge because we tossed a thermostat inside the fridge and the freezer so we could closely monitor the temps to see, if things are starting to trend the wrong way. I left. It was fine. Caitlin had gone to work. I'd asked her, I texted her before I came home and said, hey, how are the temperatures looking? She's like, oh, they looked fine. So I'm like, cool, sweet. Maybe we got this taken care of. I came home, came about my business, did my work. Around lunchtime, I went to go eat something, open the fridge. I'm like, the temps are going back up again. So this isn't great. So in my infinite wisdom, I think to myself, okay, so the issue here is the condenser's not working. It's the condenser fan that's not kicking on. So the coolant's not being able to flow through the condenser to be pushed by the fan to, cool the stuff. So I went,
Sure.
yeah. So I just went, okay, well, if this is the issue, we have a big, I can't remember what the brand is,
Like
but
a
a
floor
very
fan?
big floor fan. And I set it up behind the fridge and I'm like, you know what? Let's try this. It's worked perfectly. Sadly, I'm told that I'm not allowed to have that be a permanent solution because apparently we don't want to have a fan going 24/7.
You don't want your fridge just pulled out into the middle of the kitchen so you can have a floor fan running 24/7 in your kitchen?
I tell you what, if I was living by myself and I was a single guy with nothing around me, it would probably be like that for 6 months or so.
Might get a little spendy on your electrical bill. Not that a fan pulls too much, but
You know what? It's better than the alternative of dropping thousands of dollars or
Well, I was ready to
getting a
go
new
on a whole
fridge.
diatribe and talk about the suck-ass state of modern appliances, and you want to talk about planned obsolescence and all of that.
Yeah,
but,
that's what brought me on this.
Knocking the control board while moving. Yeah, kind of. I'm not saying it's not still built to a shitty spec, but
Well, here's the thing. So I did that, and that was, I think, a Friday night. I ended up coming up with that solution. I'm like, I'm not calling a repair person to come out on the weekend. I'm not paying that premium. If it's working right now, it's not worth it. So I called the guy on Monday, and thankfully he was able to come out Monday afternoon. I'm like, okay, sweet. So I told him all the stuff I told you, and he checked that stuff. He's like, no, everything on the board's fine. There's nothing wrong with this. It because I told him what had happened. He's like, nope, I don't think it's that. And he's checking it, and he went, oh yeah. He's like, your condenser fan motor is dead. Like I can see the electrical currents going to it, and it's just it's not fanning. So
Well, it wasn't smoking, so that's good.
yeah. Well, he said, he's like, I'm really surprised. He's like, who told you to put this fan on this thing? I'm like, nobody. I just kind of tried to put two and two together. He's like, you just saved yourself like $1,400 because like this happens to a lot of people.
Fire.
Yeah, it just gets hot and then it burns itself out. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm all proud of myself. I'm like, da 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 da. He's like, all right, so let me look at the part numbers, blah blah blah. So I'm sitting there just shooting the breeze with the guy that was with him, and he's like, I got some bad news for you. I'm like,
they don't make the part, and I don't have it.
Exactly. The part is not made. Nobody has it anymore.
Yep.
I have a Kenmore fridge, but apparently it's like a Daewoo Kenmore fridge that this fridge 4 years old. 4 years old. There are no parts anymore. He's like, here's the thing. He's like, he's like, I'm gonna give you the part number. He said, because I want to show you that it doesn't exist. But also, if you want to look for third party used, maybe someone on eBay or someone has something.
eBay or a scrapyard,
yeah. And he said, you seem like you're fairly handy. I'm like, well, thanks. I'm like, I'm not really, but thanks. And he told me exactly like what he's like. Literally, you just unplug everything. You unplug this. You take these screws out, and it's a plug and play fan motor. He's like, it would not be worth your money to have me do that. He's like, I'm just going to tell you that right now. He said,
you better keep this guy in your back pocket in the future, man. It sounds like you got an honest appliance guy.
Yeah, I told him because I said, well, what happens if I can't find one? He's like, I guess you're fridge shopping. And I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. And he had told me, he's like, well, if you're looking, for good refrigerators, he's like, text me, give me a call. He's like, we don't sell refrigerators, so I'm not going to like try and push you towards something.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, yeah, but you're going to push me towards the one that you always get service calls for, so I'm going to have to call you out to fix it.
Samsung.
Yeah. So this is just a really roundabout way to say that, I don't understand current manufacturing processes. Like literally the only part that is available for my fridge, the only part is the fan blade. They still make the fan blade because I'm sure that's interchangeable between 70 different refrigerators, but the fan motor does not exist. From what I've seen, there are no substitutions. There's nothing else that actually fits. The idea he gave me, which didn't seem to be super well received, he's like, honestly, if you have an extra computer fan, he's like, you can wire the computer fan to it and like
just use like a 30 millimeter. That would be great.
Yeah, that's literally what he said. He's like, if you just gut it and you hook in a computer fan, he's like, that's gonna push more air than this did anyway. But like I said, that idea wasn't super well received either. So probably within the next week or two, I'm going to have to find a new fridge, which on the bright side, I guess, Black Friday is coming up. So
yeah, I'd search the used market, honestly, man. Just try and find some bulletproof old garage fridge or something that somebody's willing to part with on the cheap, maybe. Just even if it's just a temporary solution.
If it was me,
yes. Okay, yes. This is not your decision.
If it was just Wyatt's life and Wyatt was making all the decisions for Wyatt, I would go find a free fridge on Craigslist and just probably live the free fridge life until I have a little bit of extra money to get something.
I mean, simpler the better, I feel like, because
this isn't a fancy fridge. There's no ice maker.
More control boards and everything. It's more shit to break. But I think there is a lot of like, oh yeah, we don't make that part anymore because that would mean you would be able to repair your fridge, whereas we can just sell you a new one now.
You see where I'm going.
Yeah.
So Kenmore, GE, Daewoo, who apparently is actually who made my Kenmore fridge.
It's the same thing as TVs. Like, I think it's like two companies that make all the panels for televisions. Just it's the same shit.
But let's actually, you know what? Let's just wrap this all together in a neat bow and basically just say that capitalism's my chump of the week. This neo-capitalistic society we're living in right now, you're my chump. This is
late stage
I hate this.
Yeah, fucking
I hate it.
On to
tell me something
things.
good. Tell me something good.
My Polish Thanksgiving's gonna be delicious, and I can't wait to eat too much.
What are you gonna have? Tell me. Let's move into something happy, like Thanksgiving. Since you brought it up.
Yeah. Going back to that, I feel like we touched on that before your internet took a shit. But in years past, I've always done like this is the Thanksgiving I'm doing this year. So like I've done Southern Thanksgiving with, greens and mac and cheese and cornbread and all of like classic Southern dish, black eyed peas and all sorts of fun stuff. Um, it keeps it interesting to me. So this year, being in Rome, I said let's do as the locals do, and we're going like full Polish spread Thanksgiving this year. So I got red cabbage. We're doing sauerkraut and sausage. We're doing a sausage stuffing, pierogies, beet salad, a bird, a beef roast, and then some sort of Polish green bean dish that the neighbor lady sent us a recipe for. So I'm excited about that. I don't know if it's like their take on green bean casserole, so I'll be amused for that. And that might be it. Oh, I'll still do like mashed potato and dinner rolls and stuff.
Well, I was listening, but did you mention any type of desserts?
Oh, yeah, I will do.
The guy that I that's the one my ears
Yeah,
perk
of
up
course.
for. And
Are you talking about all this savory, boring stuff? My wife makes pumpkin roll every year. That's a known thing everywhere? Right?
Yeah. I assume it's like a jelly roll, but it's like a pumpkin bread with cream roll up,
Exactly. Yeah,
like a
so
pumpkin Swiss cake roll.
A huge pumpkin Swiss cake roll would be the best way to describe it. Yeah, so she makes that every year. That's actually one of my favorites. I will do either a sweet potato or a pumpkin pie, but I like sweet potato a little better.
Same.
So I'll probably do 2 of those. Just because I think we got the giant can of sweet potato. I'm doing it the quick and lazy way. What about you?
Yeah,
you said
again,
you got your plans, so you're making your desserts, but you're not sure on them yet.
yeah, I'm not really sure. I might do either a sweet potato or a pumpkin pie, just because I feel like that has to be done. I might do an apple pie. I might do a cookie or something that's less pie-like, so something that's a little more little easier to pick at. But other than that,
can you make like a nosh dessert kind of thing where you can just put it out and everybody can pick at
kind
it,
of graze
kind of
on it?
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, graze. Yeah, that's a
I
good
feel
one.
like that's a little better than well, it's not a little better. I enjoy pies, but for someone that doesn't want to take a slice of a pie, it's easier to grab a cookie or.
When you do Thanksgiving with your family, are you doing, because it was always a very big deal that my dad captured the whole Norman Rockwell of the situation kind of thing. So it was like, break out the good dishes, formal presentation on the table. He's sitting there carving the bird and everything. Whereas I think a lot of times since those years in my childhood where it was like that, it's big gatherings of people and it kind of just turns into a giant potluck, which I much prefer.
Yeah. No. More or less.
And it was like
when
make
we
yourself
did
a
family
plate and
stuff.
sit where you can kind of thing. I like that. That's
yeah.
fun to
No,
me.
this was growing up through most of my adult life. It was kind of the Norman Rockwell. You have the appetizers table, but then you have the nice dining room table that's got the nice tablecloth and the nice dishes.
Break out the crystal stemware kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. I prefer, and I think that's just. Along with you, I just prefer here's a bunch of food, hang out, shoot the shit.
Yeah, we started doing Friendsgiving in 2007 or 8, I want to say, and many epic years of that. But that was literally like, bring a dish, we'll provide turkey and the basics kind of thing, and everybody just show up, and it was 40 people inside my 900 square foot condo. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was trying to, sadly, I came up with the idea like a week and a half ago, where I was like, hey, we're in a new house now that we can actually entertain people.
You want to host, yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to do a Friendsgiving. I don't want to host Thanksgiving. It's, again, like, because it's just always been too formal of a thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather go to someone else's house, enjoy it, maybe help clean up, whatever, instead of having everything here. But a Friendsgiving, which, unlike yours, it sounds like, which is more of like, friends over for Thanksgiving, have a turkey and stuff. Like, we just do a straight potluck. Like, I think the last time we did it, I can't even remember what I made, because it's been like 5 or 6 years since we've done it. But So this year's like, I want to do this. So my Friendsgiving is going to be on December 27th. So it's actually, I think I called it.
So you are doing it. Awesome.
Yep. Next month though, because
so you got a bit of a checklist of stuff to get done prior to entertaining. Then I imagine.
Yeah, I mean like a new refrigerator.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Cleaning up the downstairs a little bit more and organizing it so I can fit 20-something people in here.
Well, I mean, I have to say, behind you, instead of just a collection of moving boxes, there's now a shelf and kind of a collection of stuff and a chair. So there's a massive progress going on.
And a mirror with my feet.
And that's why I keep seeing the back of your legs. Oh my God, those beautiful tree trunks that Wyatt has.
I know. I was just trying to make sure you could see them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so instead of Friendsgiving, I think I'm calling it End of the Year Palooza because, you know,
It really
we're
rolls
at
off the
that
tongue.
season. Yeah, right. And I had realized once I made the plans, I was like, oh, my birthday's the following Saturday. I'm like, I should have just done something for my birthday and had friends over. So I'm probably going to also do something for my birthday because why wouldn't I?
Wyatt's grand birthday Friendsgiving holiday extravaganza.
Hosted by Michael Bolton.
If you can pull that off, I will fly in.
No, so I think for my birthday, I decided I'm gonna do something at the pinball club because I've got 24/7 access to it. You know, I could just have.
How would that work? If you paid everybody's guest fees, could you like throw a party there if you wanted to?
If I wanted to, absolutely. If I wanted to make sure it was a private event and it was just my friends, I think you have to pay for X number of people and then you have
Sure.
access to it for a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours or whatever. And then the day passes are still good for the rest of the day. But, you know, after that point, you know, it's open back up and people are allowed to come in and play.
I'd imagine you'd be given something of a sweetheart deal given your regular
Yeah.
volunteering there.
I don't really care to do like literally it's just going to be I'm going to be here from 4 until 10 on Saturday if you guys want to come and hang out with me. Yeah, like don't bring any gifts or anything. Your gift would be paying the $15 to come and play here for the night, you know. But if you wanted to bring me a gift, I'm not going to say no cuz you know we all enjoy our little presents. No. But yeah, so Thanksgiving's coming up very fast. Yeah. Kind of looking forward to eating way too much because, you know, I've been eating very healthily for the last month or so, especially our trip
Really?
to
Because
Chicago.
I was just with you for a week in Chicago and Florida.
I was exercising my heart. Thank you very much.
I was sleeping while you were going for runs.
See, exactly. I actually did get up and exercise.
You
Sadly, I don't think I've gone for a run since I've been home, but at least I did it while I was in Florida. Yeah. So, speaking of eating and events, so I went and saw this has been on my bucket list forever.
All right.
Penn and Teller came to Boston. I've never seen Penn and Teller. I didn't know that they were still touring anymore. I knew they had
I'm
the
curious how
residency
you got
in Vegas.
got to Penn and Teller from speaking of eating.
Because before I went to see Penn and Teller, we went out to grab my buddy Greg and I went out to grab lunch, and because we got to Boston a bit early, and I saw there was a barbecue place that was half a mile from where we were. I was like,
is this your chicken and waffle spot?
yeah, see, this is
Yeah,
how
look
you
good.
gotta follow my brain. It
I
all
do.
makes sense up here. But we saw a barbecue place, and I'm like, I'm kind of interested to see how a downtown Boston place does barbecue. This could be great, or it could be meh. So, you know, we went in, and we got a seat. There's no one there, which is either a great sign or a bad sign when you walk into a restaurant.
Is it kind of like the semi recently opened barbecue spot in the theater district, which is kind of like, you know, in a changing neighborhood kind of thing, brand new spot? Or
No, I think it's been there for a while. I go to
Okay,
Boston
cool.
so infrequently that I don't really like.
I've never been, so I'm just basing it on assumptions that I've made from other cities.
Well, when you come down, when you decide to come out here, you know, I'll take you down to Boston. We'll do our own tour of food like we did when I was out in Chicago. But, you know, no one was there, and we sat down, and we had menus in front of us, and I was waiting for the actual menu to come out because it was just a brunch menu, and I was like, but I want barbecue, and this is just like
you did
brunch
that
stuff.
to yourself. Yep.
Yeah, well, I had no idea. So apparently, Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 3, they only have a brunch menu, which
Yeah.
kind of makes sense because if they're preparing their stuff, it's probably like they might only be open at night. I don't know. You normally like that's their normal service, I would guess.
Brunch is also the biggest pain in the ass in the entire restaurant industry.
It is, which
and
is why I
if
don't
you
like
have-
going
if you
to
have
brunch
ownership
things.
asking for
Yeah.
it, fair enough, but you're sure as hell not going to ask me to do the full menu alongside it.
Yeah. I just didn't. So I'm like, well, whatever. But again, I think I've said before, but if I have not, if I ever see chicken and waffles on a menu when I go somewhere, especially a place I haven't been before, I'm getting the chicken and waffles. It's my favorite meal. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know that
think
it ranked this highly in the Wyatt ratings.
Oh yeah, chicken and waffles is like up there as my meal. But and it was $18. I was expecting, again, it's brunch for a barbecue joint. I'm not expecting they're really like going to put a whole lot of effort into it. It's going to be a Belgian waffle with some, frozen chicken strips that they tossed in the
That
deep
makes
fryer.
me so angry.
Yeah, it does me too, but that's what I was expecting. It came out. Oh my God. The strips of chicken it looked like they were full chickens. Like, holy crap. They were as big as my head.
Looked like batter fried chicken.
Yep,
From what
it
you
was
said,
It was fresh batter fried. Like, it was very
my personal
clear.
favorite over
Yes.
breaded all the way.
Yep, it was great. It came out drizzled with hot honey and then real maple syrup. And I was like, I'm gonna have to take this back to the car because there's no way I'm gonna eat all this. And I also, because again, I had no idea what to expect, so I was like, I want to get a little side. They had a black bean and corn hash, which I was like, oh, that sounds decent. It was $5, which again, I'm thinking Boston prices.
That was
$5.
Good.
Yeah. So it came out and it was potatoes, black beans, corn, basil, 2 over easy eggs, and a hollandaise sauce.
That was beautiful, and that was a breakfast on its own easily.
I know. I could have literally have just ordered that and been totally content, but instead I gorged myself and ate all of it. But still, like, I can't think of anywhere around here that I could get. You saw a picture of it. Like, I don't think I could get that much food anywhere around here for $23.
That was a loss leader for sure there, or somebody who has no idea how to manage the books of a restaurant. But if they've been there for a while, they must be making it work. I don't know.
It's 100% a loss leader because I don't drink personally, but after we came in, just kind of like when we went to Gene and Jude's, as soon as we sat down, a flow of people started coming into the restaurant, and I was seeing.
It's weird to have to say that an egg dish is a loss leader these days. Eggs and potatoes, which would typically cost nothing, that's no longer the case.
Yeah, but I mean, they're making the money on the booze. They were Bloody Marys, and like that's why you have brunch. That's
the Bloodies and the mimosas. That's you make bank on that shit.
Yes. So the food was literally just to get people in there, but you know. For me, I'm like, yeah, I'll have a water with some extra water, and then give me all of this food.
No, you're slinging, rail vodka, Bloody Marys, and cheap splits of champagne, man, and the markup's like 5,000,000%. It's great. That's where you make money.
Yep. So we did that, and then I ate all of it instead of saving any of it because I hate myself. And
well, you weren't going to exactly take that home with you, so.
I mean, maybe.
I just said that you should be probably going to be asleep inside of the Penn and Teller show, but you said you went for a walk, so that's all good.
Yeah, we walked back to the show, and I'll tell you, it was awesome. Like, I'm not a big magic person. I enjoy Penn and Teller because I watched BS. I've watched their stuff. You know that they're the magician group. They've been on The Simpsons. They've like.
Yeah, I mean, their bullshit was a lot of fun because even they got it wrong a couple times, but they were the entertaining skeptics before that whole world got taken over by douchebags on the internet kind of thing.
Yes,
and they were actually looking at things from an objective lens and just intelligently for the most part. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. They're entertaining as hell.
So I wanted to see them for whatever reason. It's just been on my bucket list. Ever since MCA, the Beastie Boys died back in 2012, I believe, I never got a chance to see the Beastie Boys. At that point, I was like, if I get a chance to see somebody I want, like, I'm going to make it happen.
You're not going to let the bucket list slip past you again, kind of thing. Yeah.
And it's not like these tickets were super expensive. I think I sent a picture to you of the seats we had. We literally had the 2 furthest back corner seats in the theater. But I mean, they were great seats. And it was a lot of fun.
As long as you can see, it's fine. It's this when you get the
obstructed view.
The giant metal support beam directly in front of you.
Yeah, no, there was none of that, and it was cool because as someone that I consider myself pretty skeptical of everything, like obviously magic's not real. They say they come out and say we're lying, we're cheating, we're these are tricks.
That's what the greatest thing about them has always been, and they were really the first ones to do that. They're not trying to be some David Copperfield douche, ooh, this is how amazing we are. No, they're we are cheating you, and
we're lying to you, and you don't know how we're doing it.
Yeah, and that's they did the whole fool us thing. I think that's what's interesting. Trying to maintain some BS mystique is boring. Knowing that it's fake and then getting over on you anyway,
and trying to figure I spent the entire 2 hours watching the tricks that they're doing, and I'm okay, obviously it's fake, but how do they do it? There was one thing that they did that they brought 3 people onto stage, or they asked, how many people here have a birthday today? And there's only I think 3 people that raised their hands, which they're only looking for 3 people, but they brought them up, and then they asked, okay, person number 1, what's something unique about you? Oh, you're wearing an analog watch. Can we have someone come up here that's wearing an analog watch? So it was a whole idea of coincidence and how all this plays out.
Which of course is not coincidence in any way.
Exactly,
and they guided it the whole way.
Exactly,
kind of thing,
but I don't know how they did it. They come to the end they have a bouquet of balloons. And they walked out into the audience and they handed them out to 52 different people, including 3 of the people that came up on stage. They said, here, take whichever balloon's your favorite color balloon. Take it. And then the other 3 on the other side, the ones with the same birthdays, they told them, pick any card, hold on to it, don't tell us, don't, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And they came to the end and they said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Everybody pop your balloon, except for the people on stage. Everyone in the audience that has a balloon, pop your balloon. And if anyone that has, the ace of, clubs, come up on the stage. And nobody had it. And then the second person, nobody in the audience had those cards. And it's okay. And then, long story short, they all matched cards. And it's even if they're, because again, the big thing that they do at the end of it is how many people here think that we're using plants? We are very adamant. We don't use plants in our audience. We usually only pick people that are with other people because if you're picking oh, look, this random person here, you want to have someone else that's
gentleman that looks just like us, that's dressed for the occasion in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a whole bit where they asked who still thinks even though they said they're not doing, they don't have plants or whatever, who here still thinks that we're lying in this or that? If people in the audience were raising their hand, all right, everybody that raised their hand, come up. And they brought them all up on stage, and they did a trick with all of the people that said they weren't. And they had, I think it was Penn, obviously it was Penn because Teller doesn't talk.
Right.
Penn had said, so even if we had plants here, you could even argue here that, well, how do you know that we didn't just bring everyone up, everyone that raised their hands a plant? He said, because we literally brought up every single person that raised their hand. You could have raised your hand if you wanted and you would end up here. So they ended up doing a trick and it worked. And the entire time, how the hell, the idea of lying to someone to their face, essentially, and just trying to figure out, how did you do it? Obviously
while telling you that they're lying to you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. They're telling you this is fake. This is not magic. We are doing a trick. Figure it out. And they've been doing this for 50 years, so obviously they know they know magic.
Yeah, so you can choose to, suspend disbelief and just go along with it, or you can be the skeptic who's trying to pick out every single bit of the trick, and it's equally entertaining with an act like that, which I think is great.
And they're funny. They're comedians as well. So it's not just a straight magic act.
Amazing Jonathan was always my favorite.
I missed my buddy and I were talking about him, and cause he died 2 or 3 years ago, I think. But I loved him. I think he was one of the first Comedy Central stand-up specials I ever saw was the Amazing Jonathan.
I guarantee we all have that. Yeah. were thinking of the exact same special.
with
and
his
they aired
bubbly
it
blonde
all the
assistant
time.
that
Yeah,
always
of
acted
course.
dumb.
Drinks the Windex and says it,
Yeah.
helps prevent streaking and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah, he pulls the guy up on stage. He is fantastic. If you ever have the chance, there's actually 3 documentaries that were filmed all at the same time, because him being him liked to screw with people. So he
Yeah,
agreed.
that's
He
to
agreed
do 3 of them at the same
to
time.
do 3 different projects about the end of his life. So you have 3 documentary crews stepping on each other and getting mad at each other because they're trying to make
Because
their
they think
movie
that they have
while this
the
other asshole is making their movie. And well, where did this person come? He's messing with all of them. So it's fantastic. If you ever had the chance to watch any of them, it's great. He was quite a character, quite fond of meth till his dying days.
yeah, he had his demons.
He made he makes no bones about it
No.
whatsoever. He's literally like, oh god, it is 11:30. Hang on, let me get my my meth pipe and rig out from under the bed. It's wild.
I'm gonna have to add that to my list now because I
It's-
haven't seen any of
actually-
those.
You have Penn talking about him extensively in one of them. I can't remember. They all overlap now. One was made by his longtime assistant / opener guy that joined him. He was like obsessed with him from a young age.
Yep.
And ended up working for him. And another was made by just some documentary guy who ends up smoking meth with him. That's fascinating. Yeah, you should watch those. I might have to assign you those. I'll have to find out what they were called.
I don't even know if you have to assign them. I'm just gonna watch those anyway. I'm gonna have to add those to the list. That
Anyone who ever found that dude interesting and his personality funny, like there is so much behind the scenes that is pretty wild. And there's one point where like he covered himself in blood and that he had shot himself just to like screw with people. It's wild, man. It's wild.
yes, that will be added to my list. Speaking of shows, sadly, you got me. I've listened to them a little bit. I hadn't really seen any of or heard a lot of their music before, but when I came to Chicago, you were playing Ghost. I didn't really know a whole lot about Ghost. You played them some more when we were down in Florida. I did a little more research into them because I'm like, this seems like I like showmanship. I like pageantry, which is exactly what Ghost is. And I did some research into them, and I've now have their entire discography, and I've kind of been shuffling through that.
People said I was so nuts in like 2013. I said this band will be probably one of the biggest things on the face of the planet, and they go, "Yeah, this weird skull guy." But
they're fun, and it's
fun. That's the point. It's showmanship. It's tongue in cheek. It's not taking yourself seriously. It's taking the piss out of yourself. Like it's great. It's hilarious.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all dead. So enjoy yourself. Have fun. Enjoy the silly thing. But they're coming to Mohegan Sun in January, and I'm like, oh,
highly, highly, highly recommended. If
the tickets are a little expensive and it's a little far away. And I'm trying to find any of my other friends that enjoy them.
Tour. Just wait, because this upcoming tour was like an add-on because I think the album tour went better than they even expected.
Oh, really?
So these are all add-on dates.
All right, so I'll wait then, because I'm like, it's $135 and it's all general admission. So I'm like, that doesn't seem worth it to me.
Yeah, I mean, they were never going to be an arena band, and here they are. But they'll do a theater tour next year, I guarantee it, because he has a real soft spot for like the great rooms, as it were. So I'd say wait and see him in an old theater if you can. It's
I'm
totally
glad we
worth
can
it.
hash this out right here, because I was trying to find, and the funny thing is, I asked a bunch of my friends. I'm like, hey, because I have like metal friends and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, I don't like Ghost at all. I'm like, well, because I'm like, they're not really metal. I'm like, they are, but I can see.
I mean, it's
pageantry. It's show rock.
If you want, dude, it's the most actual from the devil. I'm badass.
Yeah.
Like, if you want that shit, it's not that at all. It's saying, look how ridiculous all of that is.
Yeah.
And if we can all just acknowledge it, it makes it a lot more fun.
But I'm hoping because I assume I gotta look at some of their past
It's really
tours.
just one guy.
Yeah, it's one guy, and then everyone behind him are the nameless ghouls or whatever.
They're hired hands, and it's changed. Yeah, it's changed lineups a million times, but it's all Tobias Forge. He writes all the songs. He does everything. He's pretty cool.
When are we gonna get Brendan Small and Tobias Forge together?
That would be basically Nick's wet dream of metal.
Ghost and Death Clock together.
Yes, if we could put that tour. Man, they were touring I think it was it wasn't Ghost, but it was Death Clock, Necrogoblicon, and Dragon Force were touring together last year at some point. And it's just like you said, like it's one of those bucket lists. I've never seen any of those bands. Would love to see all of them. And I was like, I'll just go next time. But how many more next times will there be?
I was gonna say, how about if we find a nice tour that of a band
We're
or
going to
bands that we
agree
want
up
to see,
that one of us will go to the other,
or we can meet somewhere in the middle.
We can meet somewhere in the middle, or or at least we can both go to the same show on the same tour, maybe if it's something we equally enjoy. But I'll promise not to be Facebook living it or whatever the hell people are streaming 24/7 at fucking shows now.
Well, the nice thing is, at least this tour, from what I saw at the Mohegan Sun room, they said all phones are going in.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. They have a whole stage production, a whole stage show, so it's it's basically like going to a Broadway show. You bag your phone at a Ghost show. I forgot about that.
And I appreciate that. I enjoy shows that don't let you have your phone because again, it lets you be in the moment instead of watching it.
I think he actually goes on a small diatribe in the show now that he's like, too bad, you're going to have to just look up and be a part of this without your phone for 2.5 hours. Give it a try. You might be surprised at what you find at the end of the show that, hey, I actually enjoyed that without having to tell everyone in the universe that this is what I'm doing and stuff.
Yeah, it's like filming fireworks. Nobody cares.
Nobody
Even you're going to film it. You're never going to watch it again.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's that anymore. I think it was for a long time. Let me take pictures or videos of this show that I'm at, so I'll have them for later, and you'll never look at them. I don't think it's that anymore. I think it's people going, look where I am, and live streaming
more of a
the whole
status
thing,
and trying to
I'm
clout
live
chasing.
streaming it. Check out where I'm at. This is how I'm living. It's just, there's a concert that you paid money to watch, right?
And that is Nick and Wyatt shake their fist at the cloud in the sky.
This is a very Chump of the Week type episode as we, get
we're coming into, and this is going to be totally off the cuff at this point, so this could go terribly.
This whole episode has been.
I mean, every episode is pretty much the same.
True.
But we've been complaining about a lot of crap.
Yeah.
But, this week is Thanksgiving, so what's one thing you're thankful for? What's one good thing that's going on in your life? It doesn't have to be something we've been talking about. Like, just what's one good thing that
TimeSplitters.
What are you happy with?
It's pretty kick-ass.
What's that?
I said TimeSplitters is free. That's pretty kick-ass.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm not happy about the Ravens like that. So.
Well, what about the Orioles?
I will be very thankful if Joe Flacco gets to start tomorrow against my Ravens. That would be amazing. That would make a happy Thanksgiving.
That'd be the homecoming game, wouldn't it? Although I'm pretty sure the Bengals said that Burrow probably is going to be activated for Thursday.
Well, unless some unfortunate accident should befall him.
So you'll be very thankful
not too far
for
from
another.
Ohio. You can't take away Joe Flacco coming home to play the Ravens. Twice in 3 weeks they're going to play. We're going to play. Brutal.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that they stacked the division games right towards the end of the season.
And we played Tyrod last week. I can't believe this. Has that ever even happened before? Where an NFL team in back-to-back weeks has played against
a former quarterback?
A former quarterback both times? It would have been 3 out of 4 quarterbacks in a month that they would face would be prior team leaders.
That's a good question. I'm sure it has happened. Off the top of my head, I obviously don't have that pull of trivia, but it's possible. I mean, especially if you look at like a Ryan Fitzpatrick who's played for 17 different teams. So as long as you get him and one other person,
many journeymen out there. Yeah, that's true. But I'm thankful that I get to shoot the shit with my buddy Wyatt every week. That's fun.
Well, kind of along the same lines. I was going to say I'm kind of thankful that we've found a pretty weird and eclectic group of internet weirdos that we've turned into real life friends. Thanks to, Ian and John and Joe and Sam and Sammy and, everybody.
Yeah, I think
Aaron and Jess, and we got a weird little crew of people, and it's kind of fun. It stinks that we only get to all see each other once a year, but it's probably the right number of times to see all your friends at the same time.
We made friends in middle age. Look at
that. There's something to be said for that.
I think so.
That is not easy. I look at the friends I've had, and most of them are friends I've had for a while because, as you said, it's hard to make friends as a kind of old person.
Yeah, I had tons and tons of friends that I had grown up with for the first 36 years of my life on the East Coast, and then I split and somehow ended up in the middle. And yeah, now my friends are spread all over the country, but that's fine by me.
And then you get to watch, your young son who probably is able to make friends, like that, and it's really cool. I think you said like one of his best friends like lives really close, which
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
across
have
the
that
street.
growing
That
up.
was pure coincidence that one
Yeah,
of his
that
best buddies happens to have lived in the house that was across the street from the one we bought.
Yeah, my best friend growing up lived on and I say the other side of town, which to you and me, the other side of town has two totally different meanings because, town to you is actually, houses and stuff in between, where me, it's like literally driving through the woods to, another county essentially. But I could not walk to my friend's house, even if, we lived in the same town.
Oh,
But
rough.
yeah, but yeah, I think that's a pretty good transition point to go into everyone's favorite topic or segment, Backlog
takes a
Buster
leak.
Brothers.
Oh.
Oh, again?
Again? I didn't.
You had like 5 minutes when the...
That's true. But
All
if
right.
you see this rather large, oversized mug that is sitting
I
in
used
front
to
of me,
think bacon something something.
oh, it was bad for me, so I gave up thinking. This is a father-in-law mug. If you want to, think about the kind of stuff that he buys. I think I made the mistake in 2010 or whenever the craze was of saying yes, bacon is awesome, and ever
Now
since
everything's
then,
bacon?
I've received bacon things every occasion for the past 15 plus years. Like bacon Band-Aids. You know how fucking awful bacon candy tastes. Let me just go with
It's
that.
just salt, isn't it?
Bacon flavored things is like the most disgusting shit you can possibly create.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Bacon is delicious. The whole stupid bacon on everything trend went way out of hand. Everybody knows it. Pork is still delightful. Bacon flavored stuff is incredibly gross because it
Correct.
doesn't really taste like it.
It doesn't yeah. All right, go enjoy your leak and
yeah.
think of another commercial that will add to this.
Oh yeah, here it comes. Alrighty.
And we are back.
Thank you, everybody, for letting me pee.
You got it.
I think it's time for Backlog Buster Brothers, you said?
I think we are at that time.
So it was a little different this week. We both watched and played the same thing. Is that correct?
I hope so. Yes.
Well, I mentioned it before, so I might as well go into that. But I had assigned you a game called Brutal Legend from 2009.
Sounds about right.
Starring Jack Black and Ozzy Osbourne, Lemmy Kilmister, Rob Halford, Lita Ford, and various other minor appearances, I think, by members of the metal community. I probably got, I'd say, a good 5 hours into this week. I'm really enjoying it, and it blows my mind that I never completely finished it or really got into it back in the day. But I'll be interested to hear your thoughts because I think I know why.
So I put I think I've got about 3 hours into it or so. I got sidetracked by both TimeSplitters and Outer Worlds 2. I started
That
playing.
will happen.
Yep. I'm not
All
proud of
while
it.
you're supposed to be playing Donkey Kong Bonanza that you borrowed from the
Oh
library.
crap! I also got caught up with it. Yes, I put a lot. That's where most of my time went into was Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I went from playing almost no video games for the last 3 or 4 years to I'm now juggling about 4 video games at the same time, which I think speaks to my ADHD. But hey, that's a story
I'm
for a different
exactly
time.
the same way. That's why we need this segment, is to keep us on track.
I failed. I mean, I didn't fail. Like I
Otherwise,
said, I
it's
got
pure
about
choice paralysis all the time.
It's the first thing that I really enjoyed was when you fire the game up. It's a full motion video of Jack Black as like a guy that wants to show his friend like this really
Well, I thought
cool.
he was supposed to be Jack Black.
Was he supposed to be Jack Black?
I think he's just Jack Black talking to you, the player.
Okay, I'll
And
take that too.
Because he's like walking you into the record store and he's like, come on, I'm going to show you where they keep the hidden demonic record.
Yeah, now that I think about it, you're probably
I
right
think
that
he's
it
meant to
is
be breaking
you.
the fourth
Yeah.
wall, and yeah,
You're so much smarter than me.
that is incorrect.
But yeah, so let's just say it's Jack Black talking to you, and he pulls you into this record store. It's just a video. Like he wants to show you this thing that I'll show you where they keep all the cool records, and he makes sure that no one's looking at you, and ducks into the back room and shows you this album. And I really, really enjoy how they do the start menu for it, where it's the album, and then every time you either go left or right or press start, it like opens up the album or it flips to the back cover.
So it transitions really smoothly too.
Yeah.
So even if you skip the video, it transitions to a video of Jack Black like putting, or at least
The
someone
album
who's
down.
supposed to be, putting a actual LP like on there and then flipping it open, and there's continue or new game, and then if you want to go to options, they flip to the next section or pull the record out and look at that. It's all very just the level of presentation is excellent.
It was a lot of fun. It really got you kind of into it, and you play as Eddie Riggs, who I believe is supposed to be like the greatest roadie of all time.
I mean, you're really just playing Jack Black.
Yes, you are, but the character in the game is not named Jack Black.
Of course, yes.
So
Eddie
yeah,
Riggs.
you play as Eddie Riggs, and he ends up in hell somehow. We don't need to go into like every detail of it, but he ends up in what he assumes is some type of hellscape, and there's all of these metal legends that are down there, and the idea is to save the headbangers from, I can't remember the dark
From
counts
the evil,
or lord.
from
the heck's his
evil
name?
villain that I'm totally
General
forgetting.
Lionwhite.
Yes, who is essentially like him and his followers of the hair metal contingent who are keeping down, stifling the real metal.
And you
which
know
I
who
love.
plays General Lionwhite, right?
Is Rob Halford,
Yes.
amazingly.
So again, there's our first like introduction to a metal legend being, cast in this video game.
Yeah, so you have he's the bad guy, but then you have Lemmy, who's kind of your
The Killmaster.
Well, he is named the Killmaster. Yeah, and he commands an army of spiders and uses spider spun bass strings.
Yep.
To be able to revitalize the dead, and he rides around on a huge trike and heals your party. Whereas you go down into the depths of hell with your car to visit Ozzy, who can
Who
then
is
add
the
up.
Guardian of Metal, I think.
Yeah, and then you can upgrade yourself and your car and stuff. And then I'm just reading here, and I don't know who he was. Tim Curry is in this game.
Yeah, I saw that too. He plays Diviculus, and I'm not sure.
Might not be that far yet.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think actually you should be fairly far depending on how much stuff you're doing. Yeah, it looks like neither of us have made it far enough
Gotten
to
that
see
far.
where
So
Tim Curry would be.
interestingly, I think, and it's not a gripe because I think just approaching it with a much more open mind now. But this game went through a weird development cycle, and I think the only thing that saved it was Jack Black being on board. And the reason the other guys came on board was likely because of him.
Yep.
But it was basically developed as a real-time strategy game that was going to be mostly online.
I could see that. Now that you mention that, like the way some of the gameplay is, I could see
It was
where
going to be
the
a
real-time
third-person
strategy.
RTS.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know how you have to do the segments where you build units. You build. I don't know if you've gotten this
Yeah.
far. You have to build like fan towers,
Yep.
which are like giant scaffolding things at a concert, and you have to protect your stage from the hordes, and you build units and all this. That's a major part of the game. And then apparently, like halfway through production, they got a glimpse of something that just kind of gave it an adventure look, and the publisher said, "Give us more of that." And then all of a sudden, you're incorporating a car and an open world.
There's a lot tossed into it.
So this game is it kind of jack of all trades, master of none. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. It's
If it
this
weren't
would
for
be
the incredibly great writing and theming that is right in my wheelhouse, I
I'd
wouldn't
probably
enjoy
fall
this
off
game
it.
nearly as
Yeah.
much. Yeah. It's so charming and the dialogue is great and a lot of the stuff that you're willing to put up with some kind of half-baked experiences. And I have to guess that it's actually a lot better today on PC through patching and updates than it was on 360 at the time. Because I
Yeah,
can
I'll have
remember
to check
very
that.
much now that it felt kind of like, oh, this is now kind of a different game. And now I'm playing a strategy game, and now I'm playing a driving game, and now I'm playing an open world adventure. It does get there, where it kind of all comes together and makes sense, but I could definitely see where people might be like, ugh, this is all over the place.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that. That I think if it didn't have all of this star power attached to it, I wouldn't be as drawn to it because it's not control wise, it's not a great game. It's a little off.
Okay. Yeah.
It's fine, I guess is how I would describe it.
Very 2009 too.
And yeah, looking at it of the time, it's no different really than oh god, what was the name of that game? Dark Riders. Oh god, Dark Stalkers. Oh, I am having one of those issues where
Oh, the Sega game with the things and the guy and the stuff. Yeah.
I think that's
I
not
will say,
Dark Stalkers, but yeah, whatever it is. The game where you play as like the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
yeah, I can't
each
picture
one.
it either.
Yeah,
It's on my
I feel
shelf. I
dumb
just
now.
can't see it from the right angle right now.
I've played lots of them, but
Nope. Hopefully, there's someone yelling at their radio right now, or their computer.
Darksiders.
Darksiders. They made
Darksiders.
3 of them. There you go.
Yes, there was, and I don't know, kind of a tangent, but did you know the whole story behind that series?
No.
So the idea was, I think, obviously there's four horsemen of the apocalypse, and you're supposed each game, Darksiders 1, 2, 3, and there was supposed to be a 4. You were playing as the 4 different horsemen of the apocalypse, and then that was supposed to culminate in like an Avengers style like co-op game where you can play all 4 of the.
Oh. Kind of.
And for whatever reason, I guess I'd have to look it up, but as far as I know, that never happened. But yeah, that's just kind of an aside on that.
Yeah, no, well, finishing with Brutal Legend, talking about how it was started as an RTS and they were moving, they want more adventure game, they want more open world, It was canceled. The project was canceled. EA.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was without a publisher. Like, the game was close to done, and they dumped it. And EA stepped in and actually picked up the publishing rights and saved the project and let them finish it.
Well, I hate that. I hate that EA has done something decent.
Well, the EA of the early 2000s was a very
yeah, it's much
EA.
different than the EA that is now
Yeah.
owned by the Saudi government. Yeah.
So I'll be interested to try out the multiplayer modes that might still.
I don't
be
know
online.
if it still works or not.
We could try
I poked into the multiplayer because I was like, what the, like, is this a co-op multiplayer? What is it? And it had like a big, video of like, this is what the multiplayer mode is. And then I just backed out after that. Cause I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go play the story mode, but I'd be surprised if it still is running, honestly.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Especially EA, who likes to take
How
down
many people
servers.
are really? Yeah, how
pretty-
many people are really going to? Well, we might be able to do like peer to peer. Well, we'll find out.
That's
I'm gonna
true.
try it. This will start off our Let's Play series.
Everyone's clamoring for that.
Well, if we'll do that, and then we can do TimeSplitters.
A quick search says that multiplayer is no longer active.
Oh, there you go.
Looks like
107 heavy metal tracks from 75 different bands. That's
Yes,
pretty
that's the one thing
badass.
that I will say. The soundtrack, obviously, of this game is awesome. The music
It's so
is
good,
great.
and that really goes a long way again into me forgiving some of its gameplay shortcomings because it makes it so cinematic when it introduces the track into this epic battle or
Yep.
the driving sequence that you're doing going off a huge jump and it's being done to a Motorhead song or like I don't even like Def Leppard and I think Rock of Ages was playing one of the battles and I was
Yeah.
like this is kind of fucking awesome honestly.
But yeah, I think it's gonna have to be a game that I put some more time into. I don't know if I'll end up beating it. I mean, I might because I think it's
I'm
only like
finishing
9 to
it.
12 hours long.
Yeah, I'm finishing it at this point. I'm pot committed, and I'm enjoying it enough that I want to see where it goes.
Hopefully, it leads to another video of Jack Black at the end of the game.
That would be interesting.
I want to see that story finish up.
I can say confidently that we will never see a sequel or anything to this series.
Oh,
I
no.
don't think that there's the market there for it now, just as there wasn't that much of one back then. But I'm glad it exists, and yeah, I was just talking about that video of the history of metal in video games. It's definitely the most full tilt heavy metal themed game that I can really think of that really leans into like the fan culture and all that good stuff and the hero worship that does happen.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the rest of it plays
But
out.
it's hilarious too. Like it's just it's fun.
It's very tongue-in-cheek.
It's funny, yeah. Very Double Fine. I'm sad that those games don't get made as much anymore.
This kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier of like there needs to be more double A titles. I understand,
precisely.
EA is a triple A publisher, but just more of these games that aren't attached to a mega franchise.
But this game it's 15 years old and
Yep.
it holds up perfectly fine. I play it on a modern PC and like I said, it's rendering at a resolution and a frame rate that looks fantastic to my eyes in 2025. It doesn't
tossing it
need
into lossless
to be more than
scaling.
Yeah.
This is exactly what lossless scaling is made for.
I haven't even run it on that yet, and I think.
Oh,
it
you
looks
haven't?
great.
It
No,
looks really good with lossless
Yeah.
scaling on.
Because I've just been streaming it to my handhelds basically from my main PC, and so I haven't tried it on the deck or anything where I would probably turn on scaling. But, this rig is a moderate power that it can run a 15-year-old game at full tilt. Certainly not anywhere near the spec for the newest stuff, but yeah, like something like lossless scaling, yeah, you could crank up this game as it sits to run in a way that was never even intended at a higher resolution and frame rate, and it translates perfectly well into the modern era. It doesn't feel janky.
It
doesn't feel
definitely
old. It doesn't
adds
feel like a compromise.
Yeah, it adds to the game. It as the jankiness. It erases a little bit of the late 2000s jankiness of like Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 era games. Like it's really impressive, and
that's enough
voodoo,
for me that I don't require additional fidelity or just firepower, whatever you want to call it, effects.
Yeah,
it looks great because it has a distinctive art style that is very much its own, or at least Tim Schafer's.
Yeah.
But
so that
we must
that
talk
brings
movies.
us to a movie that I know you absolutely loved and enjoyed and probably watched multiple times over this last week.
All right, so I will be completely honest. This last week got away from me. I have seen this before. I basically put it on in the background yesterday and then scanned back through a couple parts that made me giggle. But to say this got my full attention, I'd be lying. I don't know if you have done a watch of it, or
I did.
If you're just going to be pulling from your own memory.
I watched it probably the day we assigned it last week, or the day
I should have done
after.
that, and then the date exists of us recording far off in the distance until it gets here.
It is what it is. There's the whole reason, and I think I said this before, the whole reason why I assigned this movie is because it was all filmed within 15 or 20 minutes of where I live right now. So it's just kind of an idea of be like, hey, this is,
it certainly
where
doesn't
I
look
live.
like an ultra rural community in the movie. It looks like suburbia.
Well, It is filmed. It's because I live 15 minutes out of Manchester, which is the largest city in New Hampshire, which looks like your suburb that you live in Chicago.
Yep.
But it's a movie starring Donald Glover, Aubrey Plaza. It has Bobby Moynihan, Matt Walsh,
These movies are funny in that, yeah, they reminded me after watching it of several other projects. They're like coming out parties.
Yes.
For these actors and their comedy troupes. Like, this was the one before Donald Glover became Donald Glover, right? And
this is the one I think that I believe it was this one that got the team's attention and got him the role in Community.
Yeah, there you go. And it's like, we talked about Foot Fist Way, I think, last week, and that was like Kenny Powers before he was Kenny Powers. Then you have like Please Don't Destroy did their movie. Yep. Human Giant did a movie before all of them broke out completely. So it's very much in that weird little, here's our small indie contribution. And all of those movies have the same thing as this, in that they're pretty off leash. And it's like, this is very much these guys, comedy troupes, what have you, just being totally self-indulgent, more or less, and doing things that make them laugh, which hopefully will make you laugh too.
That's a pretty good synopsis of it.
Where I think in all of those, you could look back and be like, you see all of the things that made them so revered and great later on. But
you see the raw potential there's there.
Absolute raw without necessarily like the dialing it in and the self-editing that may be necessary for somebody else to do. Because otherwise you just end up with Kenny Powers at 11 kind of thing.
Right. Like,
not that he always wasn't.
Donald Glover, you can 100% see Troy Barnes from Community. You can 100% see his character in Jason, I believe is the name of his character in that movie. Like you can see it.
It's like the earlier version of them working out this thing that is going to become the huge part. Like, it's the early Pee-wee almost.
Yeah. I'm looking at Ellie Kemper. I forgot that she was in it from The Office, from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Yep. She plays the mystery team's biggest fan. Like, it's funny because the idea. If you want to
rehash the loose.
Yeah,
script,
the basic idea is that Dominic Dierks, Donald Glover, and DC Pearson, who play Charlie, Jason, and Duncan, when they were young kids, they were known as the Mystery Team, and I think Oak Ridge maybe is the fictional New Hampshire town that they live in, but they live in this fictional town, and everyone in the town, like, loved the Mystery Team when they were children. Like, there was just this cute detective duo.
Very kids put together their own Scooby-Doo squad.
Yeah.
To find out who stole the pie off the windowsill.
Exactly. So Dominic Dierks, Charlie, he played like the strongest boy in town. Donald Glover was the master of disguise, and DC Pearson played the boy genius. And the movie takes place when I think they're like seniors in high school. So they're all 18 years old or 17, 18 years old. And they're still living off this gimmick of they were these children detectives. So, Duncan
they essentially haven't progressed since they were 12 or what have you.
Yeah. Duncan is still the boy genius, and like he gets bullied because they're like, you're not a genius. You just have a book of 1,001 facts that you memorized. Like, it's,
But the master of disguise, he's now like a grown man putting on like a stupid
mustache
kid's outfit and a mustache. Yeah. It's all very much, all of the comedy is kind of built around how gloriously
they see themselves and the world sees them.
They are. Yeah.
But so they get this, Aubrey Plaza's character loses her ring that she really wanted. So the guys are going to be on the scene, and they ended up,
it's their chance to prove they could be real detectives.
Right. There was a murder that happened in town. So they're like, we're going to figure this murder out. And the plot of the movie isn't, as you said before, is not really like the big draw of it. It's a lot like, I assume you've seen Hot Rod.
Only in recent years, thanks to my friend Wyatt recommending it.
Really? That was one of the ones I recommended to you? Awesome.
Is that kind of like the Lonely Island version?
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say. Hot Rod is a very lonely island. Like, that was a movie, but you can see how it was like skit put together with skit put together with skit.
Whereas,
and that's essentially
Yeah, Never Stopping is a lot more.
That was a documentary.
Yeah, well, a
mockumentary.
mockumentary, but it's just they their
Yes.
game got stronger basically. Yeah.
And Mystery Team is essentially just like skit with intermission with skit.
Oh, the plot is just it's just an
It's
excuse for
there
setups.
as an excuse.
For setups, yeah.
Bobby Moynihan plays a grocery store clerk, which for anyone in New Hampshire that's listening to this, I believe the grocery store that they take place is, I think it's Bunny's Superette, which is a well-known market in
Local
Manchester.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, they're known for they have a very high number of winning lottery tickets that are sold there. No idea why, but a lot of the time when you see a big winning lottery ticket, they're like, oh, it was purchased at Bunny's Superette. But yeah, Bobby Moynihan plays a character named Jordy who works at a grocery store. And apparently, like, he's, I think, supposed to be like 10, 15 years older than the other characters in this. Like, he worked at the grocery store when they were kids, and he would give them like, "We'll give you an ice cream sandwich if you guys figure out, this mystery."
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was reading, and I think you've seen I showed you an article that was written in the New Hampshire Magazine about the making of this movie, because sadly, this is one of the most well-known movies based in New Hampshire. But Bobby Moynihan, he lost like $5,600 filming this movie. He was in
By
New York
agreeing
City.
to be in it, he took a bath kind of thing.
He did because
Yeah.
I think he was living in New York City or something at the time, and he needed to come up to film some scenes, and his car broke down in, I think, Connecticut on the way up. And the director's mom actually had to come down and pick him up and drive him up to New Hampshire to film the scenes, and then brought him down to his broken car, so he had to get a new car because the car was just completely gone.
What a nice guy to do his friends a favor like that.
Yeah, Ben Schwartz was also in this. John Ralphio. He was another character that wasn't supposed to be in the movie, and I think the person that was supposed to play that character backed out at the last minute, and the director called Ben Schwartz and was like, "Can you come to New Hampshire like real quick?" And
Not
he came
what you
from
know,
New
but
York
who you
City
know.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a stupid movie. There's one scene that is awful, but it makes me laugh. But there's a
say the
scene
strip
in
club scene?
Yeah, the strip club scene where they finally find the ring that was inside someone that ended up in a toilet, and the boy genius had to dig it out of this incredibly disgusting toilet.
There's a lot of OG
it's
Willikers
2000s humor.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of gross out humor there to be found. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. They got the budget for the movie by producing online commercials for Clearasil in between their YouTube video sketches. That's pretty crazy.
Yep. It's, I don't know. I think it's fun in the sense that it's really kind of cool to see where you live in a movie. Like,
for sure.
that's Livingston Park. That's across the street from
Yeah, I always
Sheridan
love that
Backroom.
stuff.
Like, that's Mark's Showplace, which I don't know what it is now. It might not even be around anymore. The strip club that they go to in the movie.
There's fun stuff like that in a few movies. Like they filmed The Replacements at Raven Stadium.
Yep.
If you remember that movie that came out with Gene Hackman and Keanu Reeves. Yeah, there's stuff like that. Like, and my dad's in the stands in a few scenes.
Oh,
and,
really?
Like, yeah, and what was the movie? The prequel to Silence of the Lambs. Oh, Red Dragon. They filmed in the burbs around me. So the scene where the guy's on fire rolling in the wheelchair down the hill. It's like, oh yeah, there's my buddy's Matt's son. So, all that stuff. I like stuff like that. It's always, adds an element of enjoyment. But this movie, outside of that whole thing, it's one of those things where it's fun to go look at it now because so many of the people were nobodies
successful
at the time and are huge stars now. Yeah. That's like going back and looking at Scott, help me out. Michael Cera video game movie.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, thank you.
Yeah,
And, like
Jason
Lee,
Lee,
everyone involved is now a massive star.
Chris Evans, Kieran Culkin. Gosh.
It's like, it's like a new Hollywood coming out party in that movie.
I
Brie
would say.
Larson,
Brie Larson was in that. I forgot about that.
What's his name? The indie guy who's in everything. I don't know. I'm not going to try and look. Think about it
We're getting
now,
off
but-
topic now.
Yes. Well, I think we've tangented quite a bit. But yeah, watch it. It's a fun way to spend 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's not good, and I'm not going to make any.
It holds a 60% rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on a grand total of 20 reviews. So it'll let you know how much this flew under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it had like $1 million budget, which is super small. Even though $1 million sounds like a lot of money, is super small for a feature film.
Grossed 89 grand on that $1 million.
I was going to say, I'm sure
Somebody
they
was
didn't
happy
even come
about that.
close. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't even come close to.
And they made it into Sundance. I think that's probably what the goal is in a lot of those things.
Yeah, hopefully pick up distribution through that. And,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's dumb. If you want to see, like I said, Donald Glover right before he broke out in Community, he was still writing for 30 Rock when they filmed this movie. So like he was already on that trajectory. This was just his starring role. Basically,
He was in the news this week.
Yeah, he said he had a stroke during.
He's got a hole in his heart.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Sadly, he was another one that I was really hoping I could see on tour, and I don't know if he's gonna tour anymore.
I know nothing of Childish Gambino really, besides This Is America.
Yeah,
He was huge prior to that, but
yeah, I really enjoy a lot of his stuff. He actually has, and I don't know if it's ever gonna come out, but he put out his final album, his final Childish Gambino album. I think it's called Bando Stone and the New World or something. And it's actually supposed to be a companion soundtrack for an actual movie by the same name. It hasn't come out yet. I think there's been a trailer that's come out, and I kind of really hoping it actually comes out at some point because it looks interesting. But
is he him or is he Childish Gambino, this character that exists only in that world as a performer kind of thing?
Childish Gambino and Donald Glover are two different people in the Donald Glover universe. He acts as someone else when he's Childish Gambino.
That was my question. Yeah, it's a persona.
And so I don't know if you know anything about the Childish Gambino background, but he came up with that name when he was a young teenager by using the Wu-Tang name generator, I believe.
Love that.
And yeah, so I think he just put in Donald Glover, and it came out Childish Gambino. And then once he became a rapper, he's like, all right, I'm Childish Gambino. But I guess that brings us to assignments for each other, and I'm going to have to really run this one quick because I guess I didn't prepare myself to give you anything. So
that's all right. Neither did I. No. Well, I think it goes without saying that I'm at least going to keep playing Brutal Legend for another week because I want to finish it. You're welcome to do whatever. But we're going to play us some TimeSplitters together during this holiday break. I don't care when it happens.
That's a good idea. That is our assignment this week.
We're going to play some TimeSplitters. If this what launches us into our streaming stardom days, I'll do it. I don't care. Just to play TimeSplitters with Wyatt, I'll do whatever needs doing. So that is my assignment. As far as movie stuffs go, or TV, I don't know if you had anything in mind, but there are certainly classics that must be observed on Thanksgiving. If you don't watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, what's wrong with you? There should be a mob movie mixed in there somewhere, generally.
Let's see. This is gonna be great dead air for a second, but
this is what I love. Yeah, it was a little.
The people.
Wyatt looked something up on the internet. Yeah,
people yearn for this. But let's see. Why don't we?
There's always those movies that happen to be on TV over the holidays that thus then become part of the holidays. I don't know if you have any of those, but like when I was growing up, the Star Wars trilogy would always randomly be airing on USA on Christmas and Thanksgiving. So weirdly,
Christmas Story, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, 24 hours on TBS or whatever. That's certainly. So
I did have a movie that I don't think that you've watched that just came out. And Aaron, friend of the show, he had posted about it in one of the Discords that we were in, saying that people should watch it. I think it was him, and if not, he gets credit for it anyway.
What was that?
Freaky Tales.
Oh yeah, I wanted to watch that. No, I'm totally down.
So it has Pedro Pascal, Ben Mendelsohn, Jay Ellis, and Tom Hanks. So it's
like
an
everybody
hour
involved.
and 45 long. So it's in 1987 Oakland. A mysterious force guides the town's underdogs in 4 interconnected tales. Teen punks defend their turf against Nazi skinheads. A rap duo battles for hip hop immortality. A wary henchman gets a shot at redemption, and an NBA All-Star settles the score.
Well, there's no way I'm not watching that now.
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
why don't we let's both watch that, and then we can play some more Brutal Legend, and let's make some time to
I said we should probably discuss all the movies that I have watched too, but you haven't seen them yet, so that doesn't work. But watch Frankenstein if you can, because that was
I have not
the
watched that yet.
Shit. Oh, it was so good. So good.
All right. So I think that gives us way more time than we probably should have
I
recorded
feel like
at
we've
this
ran
point.
long today, but I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously some cuts in there, but hey, you know what? It's a nice holiday weekend. If you're enjoying a nice fancy dinner with your family and or friends, why don't you pop We Don't Have It Yet on possibly this episode or maybe one of the newer episodes. Let's stay
tell
away
your
from
mom
the back
about us,
catalog.
Get her to subscribe.
Actually, lock the doors and tell everybody that they are going to not only listen to what you are playing, but we want them to also play it from their streaming devices as well, so we get the downloads for it. Now, it's great to,
really
just put us out there.
Effect in the room too.
Yeah, and after that, I would also say forcibly click subscribe to our podcast on all of their devices, boost our numbers up.
Yep.
And I think that's what I'm thankful for, is all of you forcing everyone to listen to us.
Moms love Wyatt, so if you just put your mom onto Wyatt, they'll keep listening. That's all.
Does that mean, does your wife love me? I only got to meet her for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, she seemed to be fond of you.
I'll take it. As long as you didn't say you're never seeing that guy again, I will take it.
Who was that prick? That's what she said.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for once again listening to We Don't Have It Yet. This is Nick. I am Wyatt.
We love you, and we'll talk to you next week. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Peace out.
Bye-bye.